What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Matreiuss. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Kimo. And oh, dearie me, I've been noticing this a little bit recently. This is something that happens on Anatolia. It's this really long wall of trees. Now, on Voobly, it's not the worst thing in the world. If you have any spare gold, you can come over. You can chop down this tree here, put a cheeky wall segment over the top of it, and then it disappears. It just disappears. So you could do that, walk through, and then put the dock down here. Now, Kimo does make the decision to come to this side, and it's looking as if Matreiuss has placed his own dock on the bottom side as well. So let's see a little bit of duking it out on the bottom side of the water going on here. Now, one thing that Oranos players kind of haven't been doing very much of is getting that fish boom. They haven't really worked out how to do the fish boom on Anatolia. It's a really tough map for Oranos because of the walking time. So you do have to walk your villager all the way over here to put the dock down. But one advantage that you have being Oranos over the other civilizations is that villager that you walk over here can jump straight onto the wood line or onto a food line or something and doesn't have to come back to the home base. So that is a small advantage to recompense that negative of having to have your citizen. We're going to see Matreiuss come in and potentially abuse the Kito boss here. Nope, not going to happen at all. So we'll see if Kimo is going to try and get the dock up over here as well and get those fishing ships out. It's something that you can do in the classical age. So you can get busy going strong on this bottom side of the water, and while that's going on, you get your dock up over here, get those fishing spots coming. It's a little bit of macro, it's a little bit tough, but you guys are Oranos players. You guys are the cream de la cream. You guys can do whatever you need to make it work. But we see Matreiuss, he's already got his lure down. He's already sending his villager over. He's got 7 villagers on wood. We'll see how he wants to adapt to playing against Oranos. It's a little bit different than playing against like an Egyptian or a Greek or even a Norse on this map, where pretty much the meta for all those civs is going to be going up at about 5:15 to 5:30-ish, depending, or maybe even 5 minutes if you're Thor, but 5 minutes to 5:30-ish with 18 fishing ship being a little bit delayed, getting early per scene, and just booming and trying to defend. If somebody decides to be aggressive, generally speaking, if they try and be aggressive, you can defend fairly easily with the extra fish economy and then come out in front at the end of it. But with against Oranos, chances are you might actually lose your side of the water if you don't defend it very well. So we'll see if that's something that Kimo wants to try and do or not. But he is now currently grabbing boars and spamming fishing ships. Should be going up to about, if we jump over his perspective, he should be going up to about 6 fishing ships. He does look like he's trying to get a dock over here, but the Kito boss is already denying him. So potentially Kimo is going to be throwing up a house here, going for a dock on this side, going for a 5:15 advance time, which I absolutely love. But you see Matreiuss, he's not wanting to have any of it. The dock does get up. This villager is slightly stuck. The villager coming in. You see the shockwave being used there by Kimo. Not going to be worried too much about that one. Seeing as, I mean, it comes back up so soon. 4 minutes, 11 seconds. By the time he wants to use it again, he probably will be back. But he is down a charge of it there. So it's a bit of a win for Matreiuss, but he does get the dock up. And we'll see if he's going to be able to make it to the classical age at 5:15. It looks like no temple just yet for Kimo. So 6-minute advance time it's looking like. Or he's going to cut this citizen. Nope, he's getting... It's a late advance. I'm pretty sure you can do what Kimo's trying to do here while going 4:30. I don't think you need to delay your advance this long, but we'll see what Matreiuss is doing. Matreiuss is already advancing to the next stage. Look at these fishing ships. He's already basically completely fished up on this side. He's got 2 docks on the top side of the map, 2 docks coming on the bottom side of the map. It's just so much simpler and figured out here for the for the Greek players. I'm surprised that the Oranos players are struggling so much with this map still. It's 2021. It's about time that we had some sort of standard meta for the Oranos players, the Atlantean players, Kronos players, etc., etc. But we just don't. One thing that will be fun is if you play Kronos, you can build the docks back here, and instead of having to move your villager up, you can time shift it up with the fishing ships, and then maybe even time shift a dock next to the opponent's dock, so you can have some arrow shipping. But that's the thing. Anyways, Tuskabot's going to be running around doing its thing. Let's check out Kimo. He's probably still... There's the Prometheus coming through, just about to be 50% in, so it's going to be a 5:45 or 5:50 advance time. Not sure exactly what it is, but super late, and he hasn't even got all of his fishing spots there. This dock trying to get up here is Matreiuss is going to be attempting to spot it, but Kimo will get that one up in time. As we're seeing the trireme pushing these fishing ships back. So I see in the chat, someone said, yeah, you don't think you can time shift docks. You can time shift docks as long as they are facing the same way at which they were positioned. So if they pointing this way, you can time shift it here, for example, but you can't time shift it here, if that makes sense. But there is the Prometheus. The village is being pushed back. We're going to start seeing some Bareem getting built. Do we see Sultan? I mean, Persin coming in? We do not see that at all. No economic guild up yet for Kimo. Idle villages everywhere. Trireme coming in. I'm going to be hitting some of these fishing ships, and Kimo does manage to garrison them in the right amount of time there. Apparently you can rotate the dock. I'm not sure if it works. You can rotate the dock if you utilize the rotation mechanic. You can totally rotate buildings, so maybe you can. I wouldn't be surprised. Kimo's still idle villager here. What's going on? 9 idle fishing ships, that's a problem. So if you're using the default UI, you might forget about this villager that's idle, because it's going to show up as 13 idle villagers. And there we go, that villager does get sorted there. Military barracks coming down for Kimo now. He's currently only got 3 fish being gathered from. The Bareem starting to come out. And one of the big negatives for being for playing as Oranos on this map, Anatolia, is that your bonus of 7.25 speed on the Bareem does not come into play very much at all. Like on Midgard, you can just run past the opponent's ships. It's totally fine. On Mediterranean, you can kind of run around. It's also totally fine. But on Anatolia, it's just such a narrow amount of water that it's kind of... That bonus is definitely... feels very lackluster. So we'll see what Kimo's going to do. He's trying to make some Milo here. And we already see the armory up for Matreiuss. I wouldn't be surprised to see Matreiuss going Dionysus here. Exactly. This is like an 8:30 Dionysus with trireme, with everything. This is what perfect Anatolia macro looks like. And what are you supposed to do against it? If you aren't on top of your macro on Anatolia, you're playing from behind. And it's not exactly the hardest thing to work out how to do. Just go back, grab the recorded games of somebody who does it perfectly, and then just copy what they do. It's it'll take you maybe like 15 minutes to get it down, I reckon. At least know what you're trying to do, and then you can make sure you're doing it in the game properly. And we see Matreiuss still trying to push in here, and Kimo still struggling. He's a 99 population, grabbing a second talent center. The Theseus coming in to try and harass here. Meanwhile, we've got 8 Bareem here, and Kimo not quite aware when to attack and when to not. He's kind of just sitting back with these Bareems, but he needs to get a little bit more proactive. Make sure he's punishing Matreiuss for not moving in, and potentially needs to think about getting this upgrade here, which you don't see very often. But the heroic fleet might be incredibly important. We see 2 villages on favor for Matreiuss. He's trying to grab his second talent center. I think it's probably better to just go straight to the Mythic Age here for Matreiuss, but his Skylar is here ready to help out against these Bareems. Kimo not paying attention to them. It looks like he's lost... Well, he hasn't lost his dock, but he's losing the fight up on this location. And do we see arrow ship cladding? We do not see it. It's not out just yet, so losing out on that one. But Kimo's going to be 3 town centers now. He's going to be able to start massing those villages, and then he's probably going to lose all the water, so he wants to lose it as slowly as he possibly can. Maybe he can win this bottom side of the water. That Scarlet tanks for days, though. Look at that damage. It managed to pick off a couple of Bareems here in the back before he falls. So super value out of that one. And now Momillo trying to come forward for Kimo. He does have a couple of Hero Momillo to deal with the 3 Scala and Centaur. We'll see if that's enough. The Heroic Age Myth units are pretty strong. They can stay alive for quite a while here. We are seeing him retreating back. The Oracle's checking out this town center. Matreiuss very low on resources at this point. Kimo still also low on resources, but he does have that second town center. He's going to start being able to spam villagers out. He's got pigs in his base. He's got some boar here he could be eating if he wants to. Potentially come forward and sneak these deer at some point. There is ways to continue in this game here. And the big important part about this game is making sure you get that center control. And at this point, it's looking like Kimo has it. However, Matreiuss playing incredibly smart here, making her pass best. At this point in the game, Kimo has no access to Contarius, and that is the counter, or Arcus for that matter, and that is the counter to these counter units here, these counter Hephaestus. We see there's that shockwave coming down, bronze coming through as more units flooding in here, but it looks like the bronze misses. Oh no, it doesn't. It's just a graphical bug. They've got the bonuses here, but Kimo deciding to fight the bronze here against counter units. Those are Hephaestus doing a ton of damage. The Hippocon need to be jumping onto those terminal, which they do finally do. And now Kimo's 97 pop to Matreiuss 108 population. So looking very, very good for Matreiuss, though he is somewhat losing the remainder of this fight here just because of the sheer amount of Terma that Kimo is being able to have had produced here. So that's good. So maybe Matreiuss is going to start thinking about getting some hoplites in the mix to deal with those Terma as well. Probably not a bad idea. And he's going to be retreating back. The farm's starting to come out, still leaving these boar here, or this boar here. And berries in the back here he could be eating as well, and leaving the deer. Obviously, it's dangerous to go and get them, but it's super value if you do. It's definitely something that I noticed the players forget on water, is to still eat their resources if they need to, because like a lot of players just get lazy and they go, I'm just gonna get the farms, get plow. He hasn't got plow yet, but he is getting it. So, but if you just get the farms up, you don't have to think about it, as opposed to going to the hunt, having to think about it, having more resources potentially. So we'll see how Kimo's gonna do here, if he can get out of this this classical age where he's kind of stuck in right now. Matreiuss should be moving up to 8 fishing ships, getting Persin, Sultan 4, which he does have. He's also got Bacchanalia. That's a super upgrade there, giving everyone 5% hit points for very, very cheap, to be honest. If you've got excess wood, it's definitely worth it. 5% is half a line upgrade in HP. And that's on every unit you have, so that's obviously pretty decent. And we are seeing Matreiuss still able to push past. Kimo having to retreat back. You can kind of do some shoot and scoot micro here, which he's kind of doing, sniping some of those Hephaestus as they chase the Terma around. He does have to deal with this Atlanta, which is going to be tearing through the Prometheans that Kimo can make. The Atlanta down to 49 HP now. Kind of not being utilized to the best of her ability. Very, very strong unit there. I don't want to be letting her take 3 damage. You can see the Prometheans there getting sniped by the Hippolyta before Matreiuss is just going to continue pushing in here. Some more military barracks coming up now for Kimo. He's probably in a position now where his food economy started to kick in. He's probably nearly full villager population. He's we'll see. Still not full villager population, but getting there. And he does still have some fish over here. He's still getting some fish economy. So it's not like he's that far behind, at least on the economy. But he is 3 town centers. He is stuck in the classical age. And I mean, Matreiuss is going up to 3 town centers himself, which is fine, but it does mean he is not going to be able to easily get to the mythic age here. I think I prefer like a 2 town center mythic age, if anything, if not the 1 town center mythic age, just to get out those Chimera and start really destroying this valorless Atlantean army. Because at this point, like, Matreiuss is producing all these villages from these town centers, but he wouldn't be if he was 2 town centers, and his resources will be skyrocketing. And this army will probably still be about this size anyways. And now these Hippocon super strong. Medium upgrades are starting to see some catapulties come in, but the hoplites are here to help out. See the Garaballister in the back, going to get sniped down very quickly. It's such a sad unit, this Garaballister. He's so super inaccurate. And like, he does tons of damage if he hits, but he just doesn't hit very often. He can get pretty lucky, but it's just not a fun unit, not a good unit, unfortunately. Yeah, seeing these units making a little dive over here onto this gold mine. I'm going to try and cut Kimo off that one there. Maybe a little bit over aggressive, but he does spot a citizen. Where all the citizens are basically on this gold mine here, and Kimo's holding on for dear life. 114 of 145 pop. Lots of wood in the bank. He could come over and sneak this gold mine. Wouldn't be anything wrong with that. Meanwhile, all the fish over here of Kimo's has been picked off. As Matreiuss is sort of just walking over Kimo here. It's just no real way to continue here. He's still taking these fights and trying to force Kimo to keep making units. And I think Matreiuss is making good trades here, but it's just going to be a war of attrition at this point. And obviously Matreiuss' economy, 3 town centers, plenty big enough. 34 villages on food at this point. How's the upgrades looking? No plow though. Obviously Matreiuss must be rusty. Must be. Hoplites coming over, going to be hitting the citizens for a raid. Matreiuss trying to put up a fortress for himself here. And there it's going. He deletes the military academy in favor of this. It looks like Kimo's finally managed to muster like a half decent army here. And he does have access to this shockwave, so if he wants to shockwave the villages, he could possibly send them into his units here if he wants. And Matreiuss, it looks like he's still full population. Does he have like a bunch of idle ships or something? Not really. There was that shockwave we were talking about, picking those villages off the fortress, but it's not enough to stop the fortress from going up. And once it's up, it's just like controls this complete area here. And we do see Kimo. I'm going to grab that there. Gold mine, he's got shaft mine, plow. Matreiuss, still no plow, but he has shaft mine, hand axe. No, oh, he does have some armory upgrades, and he did pick up a relic here. He got the toothed arrows. That helps out a little bit for the Terma, but it's not really much noticeable against human units, because 5% of nothing is still nothing. 5% of a lot, it can be a lot, you know? Oh, it's 5% of a lot, isn't it? Not a lot. But anyways, more military barracks coming down for Kimo. He's just trying to pump out units and just keep the trades going in an effort to stay alive and stay relevant. He's got no more civilian units he needs to make. 15 villages on farms right now. 15 villages on farms, but with only plow, it's just so slow. See, look at these barracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not building from this one. 6 military barracks worth of Mermillo production here for Kimo. Now I see some stables coming down the bottom as Matreiuss is trying to find his way into Kimo's base. And Matreiuss still has ceasefire remaining, so if Matreiuss wants, he can kind of just cast ceasefire and then go Mythic Age. He hasn't started a trade route. And that may actually be a small issue because he is running out of gold. This isn't like the easiest map to mine gold here. It's almost like 2 gold mines for Matreiuss and 4 for Kimo, given this wood line here and the town center and everything that's happened with the military barracks. You see those Mermillo completely chewing through the Hippocon. As the Paspis coming in. Matreiuss just trying to make the pacifist work, and honestly they should. They've only got 10% pierce armor, but Matoma don't do that much damage, so it's completely worth it to just make them. Matreiuss needs to think about cutting all of his archers and getting fortified town centers or something. Because if he gets that, then the population advantage is in his favor by 15, which starts to matter. But it's looking like he's just over-economized at this point, whereas Kimo is not, and Kimo does end up deciding to tap out in that moment, seeing there's no real avenue for him to come back in this game. Gold mine has been picked off over here as well. Got the stables coming up on this gold mine as Matreiuss is just biding his time, taking Kimo out here. So GG, well played by Matreiuss. But it is a tough one for the Oranos players, especially with a wood line like this. I'm sure Kimo wasn't happy about seeing that one. But again, if you do find yourself in these situations, if you got the gold, chop the tree down, all segment, you're in. It doesn't work on extended edition. It does not work on extended edition. Something that I kind of wish that they didn't remove, because they removed the hunt delete thing on extended edition, but it's kind of good on to just be a part of it, because you might want to delete your own hunt or your own tree, you know. Anyways, we'll move on to onto the next game. They did play 2 games, so we'll check that one out. If you guys are enjoying the games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch, and I'll see you guys in the next game.